You know, these girls really have a clothing size issue. They should fire their tailors. So is this an underwear commercial? Or what? Hello everybody, this is YSGuru, and today we're going to take a look at Ikki Tousen Xross Impact. We got our kind of three major schools to choose from: Nanyo and Seito, Josho. But of course, we're going to go with the most powerful emperor of all, in Seito.
孫作白府率いる南洋学院、劉備玄徳率いる生徒学園、そして曹操猛徳率いる巨匠学院が
Love those Japanese sound effects. So cute. Body body. Kusun. Kush 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 kush. Gokun. Kawaisou desu. The girl in the glasses is reading a book here, by the way. A romantic novel, apparently, with a very sad situation with the main character. And the other girl's kind of upset because she's weeping and crying over a book. Welcome to a day in the life of Seito students. Until, of course, their school gets attacked by other ruffian girls. So it's quite interesting, actually. Most people don't realize what this game and anime is actually about. The Ikki Tousen franchise is pretty popular and pretty big, but most people in North America and, you know, countries outside of Japan don't really know what this is actually about. They just think it's some ecchi fighting game. But really, it's quite a bit deeper than that. The entire story is actually based on the very famous 14th century Chinese novel called Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Now, there's a lot of games that are based on the Three Kingdoms concept, and it's always been a really popular, you know, thing for people to do for anime shows and video games and whatnot. But believe it or not, Ikki Tousen is based on the Three Kingdoms. And each of the characters, the key characters, is sort of channeling one of the ancient warriors from the Three Kingdoms story. So that's pretty interesting. So any of the characters, if you've seen in the anime or in this game, they have the kind of little earring that looks like the, you know, half of the yin and the yang symbol. And apparently any of the characters that are actually, you know, in possession of one of those, they are the ones that are channeling one of the ancient warriors from, you know, that ancient period of the Three Kingdoms. And so the main character, of course, is Hakufu Sonsaku, and she channels, one of the characters from that book, from that novel. Sadly, I'm not really up on my Chinese or Japanese history, being an American, but hey, if this was the way they taught history lessons in school, I definitely would have paid much more attention. So this is a way more interesting way to teach history. But yeah, in a nutshell, the reason why all these characters are fighting and warring is they're actually, partly channeling the spirits of these great warlords from way back in the 14th century, and they're all battling against each other for domination of the country. But of course, in this, they're dominating for the high school area because they're all, high school students. So just a little bit of interesting history for you. That's what this is actually based on, and that's why the names of the characters are sometimes a little odd, a little strange, and why they're all fighting each other. It's because they're all great warlords, apparently. Also, the names of many of the schools in the series, I think, are based on actual ancient, areas and regions that were under dispute during the Three Kingdoms story and the Three Kingdoms, reign novel stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've got like, Nanyo and Seito and Josho as some of the key locations, and those are pretty untypical names for schools in Japan, but the reason for that is because they're based on the romance of the Three Kingdoms. And of course, one of the big reasons that this was never really officially distributed, this game, or brought over, is because of the M rating. And there's your Jigglypuff breakfast for the day. And so the distributors sort of canceled the idea of bringing it in to other countries because of that mature rating. But hey, they definitely should have taken a hint and taught a history class like this, because then students would pay much more attention to history class if this is the way that history was actually taught. Now, this isn't going to be a full playthrough video, but I did want to talk about this game and, show it a bit. But for this video, I'm just going to show a little bit of gameplay, a couple stages, a couple characters. And that'll probably be enough, because after seeing that, you've more or less seen the whole game. Plus or minus a few girls having their outfits ripped up unceremoniously. So, here we go. So satisfying. Beat up all these delinquents. And if you're wondering why the enemy AI is just sort of standing there, or the enemy boys, it's because, they're looking at her underwear, and then they're not noticing that she's setting up a nice big kick on them. How dare you destroy my friend's wardrobe! So let's try out some of the characters from one of the other schools. Get away from me! Get off me! Never thought I'd be saying that to girls in short skirts. Get off me! So a full playthrough of this game isn't the most exciting thing to watch, but it is quite fun and satisfying to play, and you'll get your fill of Jigglypuffs. You just happen to skip your breakfast. Watermelon on the ground. Wonder if that's symbolic of anything in this game. There are quite a few modes, and a lot of people might be thinking like, oh, this looks like a fun two-player game, but actually it's not. There is an ad hoc mode where you can play with two PSPs, but both people have to have the game, so it's not really a two-player mode. And then of course there's the lovely visual mode, which is really the only reason to play it, so you can unlock all of the lovely visuals. And by lovely, I mean clothes that are worn by homeless people. Watch where you're zooming there. Of course, we have to do a quick look at our main character here. Sonsaku-san at Nanyo Academy, or the Kingdom of Nanyo, I guess is more appropriate. So in this game, after each stage, you've got kind of a leveling up system where you can buy new skills and new abilities for the characters. So sadly, a lot of the game is grinding, actually. There's quite another misunderstanding about the anime for this series as well, and that people think like, oh, it's kind of a harem anime with a bunch of busty ladies that the seemingly only male character gets. But actually it's not. In fact, he doesn't play a super major key role in the game at all, and most of the girls are completely uninterested in him. So yeah, this is not a harem anime or a harem game, but just a beat 'em up pretty much. A beat 'em up with very distracting physics. There's quite a variety of stages, and a pretty long list of characters as well, which can keep the monotony quite fresh. Not quite as fresh as the underwear the girls are wearing, but still fresh nonetheless. One of the nice things is that they've included the arcade version of this game in the PSP game, and yes, this was in Japan arcades back in the day for everyone to play, even little kids, with lots of characters to unlock. Let's take a look at the arcade mode real quick. Gonna make everybody say my name. So you might think when you're playing this, oh, why not just spam the special move all the time? And the reason that's not a good idea is because doing the special move actually drains your health. So it should probably only be used, in a pinch, or when there's an incredibly large number of enemies around you. The arcade mode is quite long, very different from the story mode, and has incredibly lengthy stages. But beautiful graphics, and a good way to level up. And at the end, always more clothing ripping. Just in case you were getting bored with the game. I don't know what it is with this graveyard stage. There's something unnerving about high school girls dressed inappropriately in a cemetery, beating each other up and destroying gravestones at the same time. Especially when there's latex gas mask girls as well. But that's it, just a quick look at Ikki Tousen Xross Impact. And if you're a big fan of beat 'em ups, as well as cute anime girls beating each other up, then yeah, this is probably the game for you. Sadly, it's a Japan-only release, but still quite fun. Maybe one of these days when the mature rating is reduced a bit, maybe they'll actually translate this game and bring it to Western countries. But until then, you'll just have to go to Japan to get your Jigglypuff breakfast. Oh, she looks so embarrassed there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Check out the Ikki Tousen anime if you've never seen it. And we'll see you all in the next cutesy Jigglypuff video. Love that cameraman.